All right, today we are pulling back the curtain on something you use every single day but probably never see, the invisible architecture that runs our modern world. I'm talking about information systems. From buying your coffee in the morning to the biggest corporate decisions, these systems are the engines making it all happen. So, let's dive in.
So think about the last time you were at the supermarket. You're at the checkout and you hear that little beep as an item gets scanned. It seems like the end of the process, right? Well, in reality, that's just the very beginning of a really fascinating data journey.
To really follow that journey, we've got to start with the absolute basics. What even is an information system?
Okay, so at its heart, an information system is way more than just a computer or a piece of software. The key phrase here is an integrated set of components, all working together. The whole point is to take raw, kind of meaningless data and turn it into useful, actionable information.
And when we say components, we're talking about 5 core things. You've got the physical hardware, the software that tells it what to do, the raw data itself, and the procedures, the rules of the game. But honestly, the most crucial piece is often overlooked. People. Yep, us. We are an active, essential part of every single system.
To really get this, just think about an old-school library card catalog. Remember those? That's a perfect example of a manual information system. I mean, it worked, but it was slow, and you could definitely make mistakes. Now compare that to a digital library database today. The computerized system is lightning fast, way more accurate, and you can search for things in a million different ways. That's the power we're talking about.
Okay, so now that we've got the basics down, let's get back to our supermarket. We're going to start at the ground floor, right where the data is born, the transaction.
This right here, this is the workhorse. A transaction processing system, or TPS, is all about capturing the huge volume of routine, day-to-day stuff. We're talking sales, flight reservations, bank payments, that constant stream of activity that keeps a business running.
And for a TPS to do its job, it has to be incredibly good at it. It's got to process things in real time because nobody wants to wait. It has to be super reliable. It can't crash during a holiday rush. And of course, it needs to be efficient and make sure the data it's capturing is 100% accurate.
And there we have it. That scanner at the checkout counter, the point-of-sale system, that's a classic TPS. Every single beep is a transaction being captured, processed, and stored, instantly updating things like inventory and the day's sales numbers.
But capturing all that raw data is just step 1. What happens next? Where does it all go? Well, now we're going to move up the ladder and see how that raw data gets transformed into something truly powerful.
See, the data flows upward in a kind of hierarchy. At the very bottom, you have the TPS, collecting mountains of raw data. That data then gets fed into management information systems, which organize and summarize it. And from there, it can go to decision support systems, which analyze it for even deeper insights.
So let's look at that next level up, the Management Information System, or MIS. Its whole job is to take that chaotic flood of transaction data from the TPS and whip it into shape, creating structured reports that a manager can actually understand and use.
For our supermarket manager, an MIS might spit out a simple daily report just like this one. Instead of seeing thousands of individual scans, they see a clean summary. Okay, we sold 150 boxes of cereal today. This right here, this is the moment. Raw data becomes useful information. Now, if we climb one step higher, we get to the Decision Support System, or DSS, and this is where things get really cool. A DSS doesn't just tell you what happened in the past. It helps you model what might happen in the future.
A DSS is built to answer those what-if questions. A manager can use it to play out different scenarios. What if we drop the price of cereal by 10%? What would that do to our sales numbers? How would that impact our overall profits? A DSS is the tool that helps you analyze those complex possibilities. All right, let's head all the way up to the top floor, to the executive suite. What kind of information does a CEO or a top vice president really need to see?
Well, they use what's called an Executive Information System, or EIS. The entire point of an EIS is to give a big picture strategic view of the entire organization. It's designed to filter out all the noise and just present the most critical information needed for long-term planning.
An executive isn't looking at how many boxes of cereal sold today. They're looking at high-level dashboards showing the performance of the entire company. They're looking at financial forecasts, and they're looking at intelligence about the market and their competitors. The EIS pulls all the important data from the other systems to create this one-stop strategic view.
And this quote really just nails it.
And EIS is the bridge that connects the high-level strategy being cooked up in the boardroom with the day-to-day operations happening on the ground. It makes sure the whole company is pulling in the same direction.
But of course, it's not all about sales data climbing a corporate ladder. Information systems are all over the place, designed to empower all kinds of work for all kinds of people.
Think about it. An office automation system, like Microsoft Office or Google Workspace, helps all of us with routine tasks like writing emails and creating documents. But then you have a knowledge work system, maybe like project management software, which is built to support much more complex creative problem solving.
So let's bring this all home. We've gone on quite a journey here, haven't we? From a single scan at a checkout counter all the way up to the executive suite. And the main thing to take away is this. That single beep is not an isolated event. It's the very first link in a long chain of integrated systems that collect, process, summarize, and analyze data, ultimately informing the biggest decisions a company can make. This is the invisible architecture holding our modern world together.
And that leaves us with one final big question to chew on. We've seen how these systems structure information to help humans make decisions. But as artificial intelligence gets more and more powerful, how is this entire architecture going to evolve? Will AI just give us better tools, or will it fundamentally change the way we think and decide? Something to think about. Thanks so much for tuning in.